Hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? I'm supposed to be in Denver, but decided I'd talk a little shop talk. I'm not gonna leave until later, so I'll get on here and talk to y'all. So I'm cleaning my spatulas. If you're coming in, this is what I'm doing, cleaning my spatulas. I'm just talking a little shop talk. So, I was supposed to be in Denver, so, and I am going. I'm just gonna probably end up driving through the night. Me and Ken, he's gonna do most of the driving. And I decided that while I'm waiting on him to do some stuff and waiting on screens, that I will go ahead and, uh, you know, keep myself busy. So, thinking about what's gonna go on for 2025 in my shop, what I want to do, and thinking about what's the most important department in a print shop, right? And so thought I'd come on and talk to you guys about it, see how y'all feel about it, um, as I'm doing this. So we've been in this space now for like going on, we got in this house like, let's say a year and a half ago. I think February will be 2 years. Will it be 2 years? Yeah, February will be 2 years for me being in this space. And I've done a lot of work to this space, y'all. To make it a garage shop so that I could work from home. So basically, if you haven't seen the space, you can't really see everything, but that's a lot of it. And it's a small space. So kind of thinking about what's important for me and what changes that I want to make, moving forward into this upcoming year, what it is that I want for my space. And being that it's so small in here, cleanliness is really, really important. And to me, the most important thing that you can do, or the most important part of your print shop, is the screen room, right? Where you burn screens and coat screens, keeping that dust out, and just having that area together, and organized. And for me, whenever I'm training people, I'm always telling people that in your screen room, you need to have, if you got your washout booth, you need to have your drying rack right next to your washout booth and all of that stuff. Well, it's kind of difficult for me in this space, so I'm going to change some stuff around. And I think I'm going to build a big cabinet, a big drying cabinet to dry and store screens, and kind of change some stuff around in here, thinking about a bigger washout booth for my space. And the reason I say that the most important thing in the print shop is your washout area, your screen area, is because if you don't have good screens, then you're not going to have good prints. And if you don't have clean screens, you're going to have pinholes, and you've got dust and all of that type of stuff. So that's the one thing that I want to do for 2025, because I don't. Hey girl, hey baby John, how y'all doing? Look at me, a hot mess. So lips healing pretty good, y'all. So those of you guys that don't know, I did fall on Monday. Ugh. It was a terrible fall too. Literally like knocked myself out. But luckily I am okay and not having a whole lot of trouble. So we're getting ready. I'm gonna leave. We're supposed to be doing a live event. It's supposed to happen. Well, it's gonna happen tomorrow at between 5 and 6:30 in Denver, Colorado, y'all. So I looked on Google Maps and I could have swore that it said that the distance from Dallas to uh, Denver was 8 hours. It's 12 hours. Hey, Precious. So it's 12 hours, y'all. Um, so after my file on Monday, I did not get anything done. I didn't get screens done or nothing. And I just been like laying in the bed till pretty much yesterday. Because my lip was swole like crazy. As you can see, it's messed up. My tooth's messed up. But I'm feeling a whole lot better. I had to actually do a live event the day after I failed. And so I was really, really embarrassed at the live. I had to put on a mask, y'all. And I just doped up and went out and did what I had to do. Took me some, when I say doped up, we talking about Advil. Okay, we talking about Advil. So it took me a bunch of Advil and got out there and did what I had to do to make it happen. When I tell y'all, I normally don't clean these, but every blue moon, these things are dirty. So we did that event. I was hurting so bad, but I couldn't get my son to come do it with Ken. And it was like, girl, 2 hours, just 2 hours. Get out there and do it for 2 hours. So we did that. And y'all know, every time something happens to me or something, like my mind is like, okay, girl, why you keep falling? What's going on? And it was just a normal fall. So it got me to thinking like, okay, you need to take a break. It's like, okay, maybe God's trying to tell me to slow down. So I turned on my autoresponder on my emails. That was the first thing I did, and said I was going to be out of the office. And then I turned on Jennifer, who I call Jenny. Okay. Jenny is my AI assistant. And so what she does, and she's a sister, y'all. So she, which is a computer, she is now answering my calls. And basically what she does is she answers the phone, and then she works as like an auto attendant, right? To get you to where you need to be, give you the information that you need. And then she will direct you like over to the website or schedule a call. And I had not used her in a while, but I actually have her activated now and decided that I need to use her all the time. Because if you're like me and you're running a screen print business or any type of custom business, you really only want to talk to the people that you want to talk to. So what I mean is, so we're going to title this video Trim the Fat, right? Because that was the word that came to my mind, was that I needed to trim the fat. And in trimming the fat, it's like, okay, looking at who my customer is and who I really want to answer that phone for, right? So Jenny lets people know that we only do 36 pieces. I just bumped up my y'all, I'm talking a little bit funny because my mouth still is hurting, okay? So I just bumped up my minimum purchase to 36 pieces. And it didn't just come out of nowhere, right? It came from this year's analytics. If you're not following the numbers, then you really should, because that is how you will know what you should be selling, what you should be doing. So according to my sales, right, the average customer is buying at least 50 shirts from me. So I thought about it. Bump up the numbers. So y'all know why you bump up your numbers and why you don't take, like, once you get to a certain level, you don't take the onesies and the twosies. Because you're changing the type of clientele that you're dealing with when you're bumping up the numbers, right? So I tell people, like, if you're screen printing, start out screen printing with 12 pieces, then go up to 24 pieces, then go up to 36 pieces. If you can get your business up to where your minimum is 50 pieces, woohoo, okay? But you only do that when you have done your analytics and you've looked at the numbers and you got 2-3 years of data and it's telling you that it's time to bump up. So what happens is, hey Levite, how are you? I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get on YouTube a lot and it hasn't been pushing me out. And I really haven't, like, tried much this year. Well, at least the last, like, 6 or 7 months. I'm really contemplating getting completely off of YouTube. So, but, you know, still try to come on here and give y'all a little something, like, every now and then. So yeah, so bumping up the numbers, which is going to give me a different clientele. When you bump up those numbers, you lose something, right? You lose customers, but you gain better customers. And you have to be careful about it. So that's why I say you have to follow the numbers and make sure that your shop is able to hold that you're able to actually bump up those numbers. So what happens is with Jenny is that she lets customers know that they cannot order anything less than 36 pieces, right? And screen print. 36 pieces on screen print, 36 pieces on embroidery. What they can do is order online and online or only. Jennifer also lets my customers know that we're not a walk-in facility, and she guides them to doing everything that they need to do. So quick, fast, and hurry. As soon as she answers the phone, she's letting them know that, hey, our minimums, where they can go if they do want to order singles. She lets them know that we're not a walk-in store. You can't just pop up in here. She lets them know all the things that I want them to know before they even get to me. So in that sense, what she does is pre-qualifies the customers. And that's what a lot of screen printing shops, or even just regular shops, that's what a lot of people don't do, is qualify the customers. So I'm going to turn this so that I can work over there. Y'all will be able to see me. But so she qualifies the customers for me, which is a great help. And she also sends them, if they need a quote, she will send them wherever they need to go. If they need to come to me to do, so I'm separating TSD and Dallas Live. We're separating it now, right? So each has a number. By the way, I've got a custom number. It's Ink Live, right? So when you call Ink Live, I'll start advertising it pretty soon. I'll tell you guys. But what happens is it goes straight to Dallas Live, and then TSD will be separated because it's really two different companies, two different identities. Kind of Dallas Live is kind of growing its own thing, and I want to separate it so I can see which one's going to really be the one that's going to bring in the most money next year. My goal for 2025 is 500K. at home. So, and I feel like we have a very, very serious, viable, easy to do. We got 2 presses, can run 2 operators at one time. It's just all about being clean, right, and trimming the fat. So that's part of me trimming the fat, is allowing the VA to do her job. And then another part of trimming the fat has to do with the quoting process, right? Getting people to, so normally my quoting process, I'm gonna tell you guys, and this for y'all who have the T-shirt calculator, because I got something coming for y'all. And then I'm gonna get off of here because it looks like my, we don't have a charger to charge the battery over there. Matter of fact, let me just grab one and plug it in so I can keep talking to y'all, because it's gonna be some good stuff. So that when I get back, we got a couple of orders that's due the first week. No, I haven't burnt it yet. It's there. I'm finna coat them. You ready to go? You ready to leave? That's what I'm finna do.
Yeah, I'm saying that'll be good. We already have it ready.
Yeah, I'm finna already have it. I'm finna already have screens ready. So we turned down, guys. We probably turned down about 20 orders this week because of this. So anyways, we're going into the T-shirt calculator because we're talking about trimming fat. So part of trimming the fat has to do with speeding up the quoting process, right? So if for those of you guys who have a T-shirt calculator, this is going to be a perk for you guys, because normally you price, you send the person the quote, and then you have to send them an invoice for payment. We're now going to add a link to where they can pay. They have a link when you send it to them, and you no longer have to go on Square, input all of that or anything like that. They're going to be able to, instead, you send them the quote and the invoice at the same time with the payment link. They click the payment link, enter in the amount of the payment and the amount of the invoice, and make their payment. Speed you up. I'm talking about, it's going to knock quoting down from, we already can quote jobs in the calculator in 30 seconds, right? But then you have that time that you guys have to take to then turn around and create the Square invoice and all of that. We're not doing that anymore. We no longer create Square invoices or any type of invoices other than the invoice that you have. That's it. It's going to speed up time drastically, and it's going to allow people to go and pay for things when they want to pay for things. So it's going to just speed up the whole quoting process. Boom. The last thing that I'm going to do, which I'm going to implement, that has to do with pricing, is actually putting back up the online quoting. I'm going to go ahead and bring it out. It can be added to any website. So I am going to bring that feature back. No longer doing the online designer, y'all. It's just pretty much a waste of time at a certain point. Hey, Uni, how you doing? It's kind of a waste of time at a certain point to have the online designer, because most people that I deal with, they already have designs. So just uploads, just file uploads, upload your file and all of that. So trying to make things a lot easier this year and a lot more organized, and taking my people who came to Bosscation, taking them with me on the journey, ask them all to put in their goals, and you can put in your goal out there on YouTube too. Whether you're looking to make 500K this year, you just want to make an extra 25,000, you want to make an extra 30,000 or whatever, right? This 2025 is going to be all about marketing, all about marketing. Did that first marketing class at Bosscation, which was the first time that I put marketing and all of that stuff in with screen printing. And I don't know if you guys seen I put everything up on, well, a few things. I haven't been putting a lot, advertising a lot on Lady Print Boss, y'all, at all. I think we did put that on there though, but have not been doing a lot over there. But I was talking to someone in the group that came to Bosscation. At Bosscation, y'all, I taught the ladies how to go in and do their ads, their Facebook ads, and how to go in and use the keywords to find their target for, you know, whatever it is that they want. So hopefully, those of you guys who came, you have done your finding your brand identity, you've done that, and that you are ready for what's next to come. Hopefully y'all are ready for the next part, because on the 12th, we are going to have our first training class, and then we're going to start doing once a month. Maybe if I'm able to do it twice a month, but I'm going to dedicate once a month. And once a month, we're going to have a training class, which the training classes, guys, are all about marketing and sales, taking your customers to the next level. People who've taken screen printing or done sublimation or whatever it is that you out there that you already done, you pretty much know, or whatever it is that you sell, right? Y'all pretty much have that process down on your training processes. So it's time to do other things and take it to the next level. And I'm not going to bring any extra people in. That will be a paid option. So got those done and cleaned up. So now I need to get the table cleaned up so that I can, if you screen print or do any type of craft where you need containers, these are about $17 on Amazon. And I think it's $50 in this one. These are just like the deli containers with the tops. I use these for my screen printing ink. So whenever I'm traveling, this is what we do. You put one of these in here, you can do about 150 shirts with this. And that's a full-size image that you should be able to do with that coming over to this side, y'all, as I kind of straighten up in here. But I got my screens all together. I need to coat them. We're actually doing a design that is a Halloween design. I think I'm going to put a little bit of glow in the design for them, right? I think I'm going to put a little glow in the design. Let's see what this is. I don't know what this is. I think I'm going to surprise them with a little glow. And because it is Halloween. Driving 12 hours, y'all. I did not know. Once I realized, I was like, I'm going to do a 12-hour drive to be in town for an hour and a half. I actually thought the drive was like 8 hours. So I'm actually learning how to travel across the country and do events. So I'm still in the process of, even though I've done so many, you might be like, what do you mean? You know, but I'm still learning a lot. And so with shipping equipment and stuff like that. And so going to be, I'm going to get up there, and then I'm going to find a storage, leave the equipment there, right? I'm going to find the storage, leave the equipment there, and then ship the equipment back so that I know how much the equipment weighs and the container and all of that stuff, so that I can go through the shipping company and see how that all works, make sure that everything gets here, and have the timing down. But mainly it's to make sure that I got that process down and that I feel comfortable with it, because I did not feel comfortable shipping my equipment to Denver and then getting there and something happens and maybe it's not there. So I wanted to do it this way, to where I actually drive the equipment there, because this company did 3 events with me back to back. So I wanted to make sure that I get that process down. And that's just me, you know, like some people might find that weird, like, why didn't you just fly? Just no, because I really want to make sure that I have it down and how it works. I did find out that when you are traveling and you try to ship stuff to the hotels charge you an arm and a leg, and you can't ship directly to the hotel equipment. You ship it to the hotel storage, and then they move it from the storage to the hotel. So you could literally be out of $700-800 or even $1,000 just on shipping your equipment. So thus I had to figure out a smart way to maneuver and make sure that, you know, that I'm doing it right. And I'll have the exact measurements. Like when you're shipping equipment, they tell you what size especially if you take it on a plane, they tell you exactly what size the largest size the container can be, how many pounds it has to be, the width, the height, all of that stuff. And if it's over, it has to go freight. And you can get, there's a number, and I don't remember what she called it, but you can get this number that it's something to do with Homeland Security. But you can get this number where you take your equipment up there, they check it, and then if you're flying it in the same container all the time, it goes freight, but it has this number, and so then it's already kind of pre-approved and makes it easy to fly. I didn't trust the process with me doing it the first time, so I'm going to do it. I am going to do it, but I'm going to ship some equipment to my brother and test it out to make sure that it gets there, because my thought is, if I'm going on a plane and the equipment is not going on the same plane that I'm going on, I'm kind of nervous, right? So that part. This is my table. It's pretty cleaned up now, y'all. Pretty cleaned up. See, did pretty good. Good job. Not just perfect, but decent enough for me to get some things done to call it a success. What are y'all out there doing? Yeah, that glow is nice. It'll be a good surprise too for them, Tampa, to see the glow. Of course, they won't see it while they're at the event, but they'll see it when they walk outside, because by the time they leave the event, it's going to be night. Bring y'all back over here while I clean out these last few. Found a couple more, so I'm going to clean those up. This is the part of the shop that nobody likes to do. That doesn't bother me. I was watching this really big shop, and they were talking about how they clean, how nobody wants to do, uh, nobody wants to reclaim screens and stuff, and they bought this really expensive reclaim unit that they said now we can do, you know, we could do 30, 40 an hour. And I'm like, if you had a dedicated person, which it does come out cheaper if you're doing it constantly. But when we had our big shop, Adrian, that was his job, like his total job was to just clean screens. And y'all see, I got all of those screens around that press. All of those are jobs that are done that need to be cleaned up. And so I got quite a few that need to be cleaned. And it's about time for me to either remesh some screens, send them out for remeshing, or order new screens, or do it myself. And I finally have the space now where I can do remeshing. Well, I got not the space, I got the space, the table. I got a table that would be perfect to remesh screens. And don't really see anybody here on YouTube doing it. Somebody will probably do it now that I've said it and try to beat me to the punch. But probably gonna do a remeshing video. And then get to my sublimation, get the sublimation stuff up and going. Sublimation printer is still sitting. I did buy the part that I needed, and I actually bought another printer, a parts printer, and so I'm going to take it apart and put that together. Oh, so I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I have a Prestige that is a DTF printer that is Ken's uncle's, and it has been sitting and not running, and so he wants me to repair it. Had so many people ask, when you gonna do a printer video? When you gonna do a printer video? And I said I wasn't doing it anymore, but he's family, and so I am going to do one last printer video where I'm going to repair, or attempt to repair it anyways. So if you have a DTF printer and that print head is flawed, you might want to stay tuned for that video because it may just help you fix your printer. And his printer has been out of commission, y'all, probably since, I know it was the beginning of the year that I seen that sucker popping ink everywhere. So I know his printer is a hot mess. Oh. Almost time for winter. Just gonna order me some more stir sticks. I'll try to clean them. These are sticks to clean the ink off of stuff. These are so cheap that I can just order these. So I'm just gonna not even clean them. Literally been thinking about buying a parts washer. I need some more papers. So I just literally like walk around the shop and find stuff that's trash to clean up with. clean squeegees and all of that stuff with. When I get back, everything will be clean. We probably don't leave at midnight and just drive straight through. Make it there about 12. The event is at 5. And we may not even check in the room. We might just have time to check in the room and then go straight to the event, to be honest with you. But setup is super, super simple, y'all. Setup is super, super simple. Super, super simple for this event. I'm literally walking in with, I'm going to take off, I'm only going to take a 2-head printer. Take off 2 heads, just have 2 heads, and I'm not even taking any signage. They have all of that. No signs, no tables, no nothing. Rolling in with the printer on the cart. I'll be rolling in with the printer on the cart. Get in there. It's 200 shirts, so I'm thinking to do maybe about 40 shirts before we leave here. Pre-print. Pre-print. Always pre-print, because if you get to your event and let's say, for example, God forbid, you're a little bit late, or you're setting up and you have any type of hiccups, or you got a line or something like that, and people don't want to stand in that line, they're happy to grab those shirts that are already ready and done. Clients don't understand it. Don't even tell them that you're doing it. Just do it, and trust and believe they will be so happy when they see how it works, because it's every single time you're going to have a problem with lines building up if you don't have something pre-printed and ready to go. Yes, ma'am, you gotta get your squeegees. People learned about these different durometers during Bosscation, what they mean, why we got different sizes, all of that stuff. All of this. Make sure that I got squeegees for this. Should be making sure that I got squeegees for the stuff that we're doing. I don't use those heavy squeegees on my 4-1. They're too heavy. I use the cheap ones off of Amazon. They don't weigh the screen down. Use those heavy ones, they're too heavy. And also, don't buy, if you have the 4-1, don't buy those cheap thin aluminum screens, because they're too light. They are too light. Kid! Well, I have to go to the car and get my bucket, y'all, that I use for I need my bucket that I actually take to the events. Because it definitely has my squeegees in it for my live events. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here, y'all, and go get my bucket, come back, coat these screens, and then get me some rest the rest of the day until it's time for us to leave. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.